Tonight, you're going to open the fridge. You'll grab something wrapped in plastic. You won't think about where it came from. But the real answer to what your body was built to eat is far stranger than anything on that shelf. For most of human history, there was no fridge, no menu, no guarantee of a next meal at all. So what were your ancestors actually eating? Not berries and leaves like the cartoons suggest. Something far more calculated. Your brain is hungry, not metaphorically, literally. It burns roughly 20% of your daily energy, even though it's only about 2% of your body weight. That number should stop you, and it rewrites everything you thought you knew about the primitive diet. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham has argued that raw plants alone could never fill that hunger gap. Your gut is short, efficient, built for food already broken down, built for cooked food. Cooking meant fire, and fire meant something more important: predigestion. Cooked meat and cooked tubers release far more usable energy than raw ones. Smaller teeth, smaller jaws, a shorter gut, a bigger brain. All of it traces back to one shift: heat applied to food. You can see it in the fossil record like a signature left behind. But cooking wasn't the whole story. Meat mattered too, and not in the polite, occasional way you might imagine. Anthropologist Craig Stanford has documented how much early hominins likely depended on bone marrow. Calorie-dense, easy to access with a rock. No need to chase down a healthy, fast animal. Picture it. Not a heroic hunt, a scavenge. Early humans creeping toward a lion's leftover kill, cracking open bones the big predators couldn't reach. Undignified? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. That marrow may have fueled the very brain growth that let your ancestors eventually hunt on their own terms. So was it all meat then? No. And here's where it gets genuinely surprising. The evidence points to opportunistic chaos. Whatever was calorie-dense and available. Tubers dug from the ground. Insects, shockingly high in protein. Shellfish along coastlines. Fruit devoured in bulk before it rotted. Meat, whenever it could be caught or scavenged. There was no diet plan. There was no ratio of macros. There was only a relentless search for calories because calories meant survival. Your body still carries the memory of that search. That's why sugar tastes like joy. That's why fat tastes like comfort. Researcher Catherine Milton spent years studying primate diets, and her work suggests something counterintuitive. Dietary flexibility, not any single food, was the real superpower. Humans didn't evolve to eat one perfect ancestral diet. They evolved to eat almost anything and never starve when one food source disappeared. That's why modern nutrition advice feels so contradictory. Low carb, high carb, meat heavy, plant-based, all of them can work because your body was never built around a single formula. It was built around adaptability. Think about what that means for you, standing in front of a fully stocked kitchen. Your ancestors' greatest struggle was scarcity. Yours is the opposite. Endless abundance, engineered to be more craveable than anything on the savannah. The instincts that once kept your ancestors alive are now working against you at the drive-thru. Your craving for sugar isn't a flaw. It's an inheritance. Your craving for fat isn't weakness. It's a survival algorithm running exactly as designed, just in a world it was never built for. So what did ancient humans actually eat? Fire-cracked marrow, scavenged fat, whatever tubers the ground gave up, insects when nothing else was around, meat when the hunt succeeded. And they adapted endlessly, because adapting was the only rule that mattered. You are the descendant of the ones who figured it out. Every single one of your ancestors found enough food to survive long enough to reproduce. That's not a metaphor. That's a literal, unbroken chain leading directly to you. Next time you open that fridge, you won't just see food. You'll see the end of an ancient, brutal, brilliant experiment in survival. One that started with a cracked bone and a stolen scrap of marrow, and somehow, against every possible odd, ended with you.